Hello everyone, and welcome to another top 5 records video and another one in the series in which I'm discussing the discography by Pink Floyd. What I'm doing is I'm listening to the albums, starting at the first one and going slowly towards the end, and I'm giving a review of every album. And I notice it's very interesting because listening to the albums in that order, you see a change in a career, and I get a different perspective of what's going on. And today in this fourth video, I'm going to discuss a very interesting album, Ummagumma. This is their fourth album. It is the first time they made a double vinyl. How do you say? A double, two pieces set of vinyl, and it's Ummagumma. And Ummagumma has always been some sort of a mystery to me. It started off when I got into Pink Floyd. I was about 14 or 15 years old, and my music teacher in high school, he said to me, why don't you give it a shot with The Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall? And I completely loved it. I told him, and he said, you know what, you should try Ummagumma. And I said, why? And he was laughing inside himself, like having a ball. He said, yeah, it's like the band went into the studio, took a shot of heroin, and just played whatever came out of there. So I never understood that, because the first time I put this album on, it was a digital version. I heard live music, so I was like, what's going on? And then when I left home, I went to live in Amsterdam, and I was roommates, or I was living in this big house with 30 other students, and one of the co-students or roommates, how do you say that? He said, "You're not into Ummagumma?" Oh man, he said, oh man. Ummagumma is the best Pink Floyd album. It's just, when he would speak about it, he would make it sound like it was some kind of Trout Mask replica by Pink Floyd, yet to be understood. So when you dive into this record, there's something interesting going on, because it was their first charting album in the US. The record did fairly well, but the band members themselves, they're not so enthusiastic. So, first of all, try to understand Ummagumma. What's Ummagumma all about? 2 discs. The first disc is live footage collected from 2 live gigs. It says here Birmingham and Manchester College. I'm not sure whether those dates are correct, but on those sides are Astronomy Domine, Careful with That Exudine, Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, and A Saucer Full of Secrets. Now, that is side 1 and side 2. And they decided to put live songs there so they could put these live favorites of their live repertoire, so they could end that part of their career. And then you have the second disc, and the second disc is divided, the studio album, it's divided into 4 bits. The first bit is by Richard Wright, the second bit by Roger Waters, and the third bit by David Gilmour, and the fourth by Nick Mason. Everybody got their own moment in which they could decide what to put on there, what to make, and so everyone could find out who they were as solo artists. So to me, it sounds like they are departing from a past with some songs. For example, Astronomy Domine is a Barrett song, and they are looking into a new future, which is an interesting concept. And the live album is indeed a very nice live set. I love those songs. I love Astronomy Domine. I love Careful with That Exudine. It sounds pretty good. I love Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, and I love A Saucer Full of Secrets, though there are better performances of especially A Saucer Full of Secrets, but also Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun. Nevertheless, it's awesome to have this early Pink Floyd 1969 live recording on this record. But then we go into the studio, and all hell's gone loose, seriously. Richard Wright, one of the great organ players, a brilliant musician, a very good vocalist, wrote Sisyphus Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sisyphus is this Greek mythological figure, and Richard Wright himself later said about this, it was interesting to know what came out of us when we would work solo, but it was pretentious. Hell yeah, it's pretentious. Sisyphus Richard Wright's input is like going to the final gig or the examination gig of a conservatory jazz piano player who is out of touch with his surroundings and is balancing on mental insanity. It's not something to put on a Pink Floyd album. It's really not good. Just, I mean, it's terrible what he's doing to the keys. Then Roger Waters comes with a song, Grantchester Meadows, and it is nice. Yeah, Grantchester Meadows is a nice song. It's beautiful, nice melody, fun. First moment in the studio album in which I thought, oh yeah, there is a very gifted musician aboard. And Waters is, I mean, I think he's one of the great British songwriters and lyricists. I mean, he is very skillful, and you hear that on Grantchester Meadows. After that, he has a song called Several Species of Small Furry Animals Gathered Together in a Cave and Grooving with a Pict. Yeah, it's funny sounds. Funny sounds. I'm not gonna talk any further about it. Side 3. David Gilmour has The Narrow Way, Part 1 till 3. That is the part of David Gilmour. And The Narrow Way is beautiful. I mean, it is awesome to hear him pick up an acoustic guitar, and he makes beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. Beautiful vocals. Lovely, great song. Seriously, very beautiful song, and the second beautiful moment on the studio album. Then, to end it off with Nick Mason, The Grand Vizier's Garden Party, which has an entrance, that's part 1, entertainment part 2, and exit part 3. I understand the remark of my music teacher. I mean, this is just bullshitting. It's just bullshitting around. It's uninspired. And what I think about this record is, it's difficult. I think it's difficult to give an analysis of Ummagumma, because I think at this moment the band is very clear with moving away from the past, moving away from the 60s Pink Floyd, trying to move away from the Syd Barrett and psychedelic song Pink Floyd, and trying to find an own way. But their own way, that studio bit, a new way. I mean, the first part is also their own way, but the studio bit is all half of the time so uninspired. It's not really good, and it's not a showcase for what is yet to come, because this is 1969, and what Pink Floyd is going to do in the 70s. I mean, it's going to blow your head clean off. It's amazement after amazement after amazement. This is not amazement after amazement after amazement. It's amazing they put this out. Nevertheless, my review is rather negative, but if you would ask me, should this not have been released? Oh, no. I'm very happy with the live record. I'm very happy with Grantchester Meadows, and I'm very happy with The Narrow Way. Seriously, I mean, it's an interesting album. It's a debatable album. It is sometimes a good album, and it's sometimes horrible. So, what to think of it? And to be quite frank, I am not sure what to think of it. But to listen to it as a full album in whole, that's not something I do very often. So, that is my review. The 4th one in this series about Ummagumma. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.